Hi, my name is Coldbear and let's start with Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. This is an open-world RPG filled with complex quests in which your decisions matter and your choices are respected. Developers are promising a vast world full of monsters, fallen heroes and exciting places to discover. Dark storyline will require you to balance the shades of grey without any good answers. Looks like the Fall of Avalon draws a lot of inspiration from the Elder Scrolls franchise, and that is never a bad thing. And I really like this dark fantasy setting. Creepy vibes and gloomy atmosphere is doing its job very well. I want to try this game, it looks really good. It should be released into early access rather soon and we can test it out. Ardenfall. This is a choice-based RPG with a world of devious politics and ancient cultures. Here you can join a powerful guild and work your way up from a nobody to a legend just like in the Elder Scrolls games and explore a varied world of interesting monsters and locations. Every character in Ardenfall can be killed, even the ones that are part of the quests. That reminds me of Morrowind and the world of doom I have created by killing some sailor guy that was supposed to take me somewhere during the main quest. Yeah, I spent a lot of time searching where I made that mistake, so in Ardenfall you can do the same and break the game. Of course, the game will probably warn you not to do that, but you know, sometimes we do not read what games are showing to us. We just click OK without even knowing what was written. That happens all the time. Anyway, another cool thing in Ardenfall is a dialogue system. You can make choices depending on your stats and traits, meaning that becoming proficient in diplomacy and speech will serve you well. Demo version is available on Steam for you to try, so if you are interested, don't hesitate and download it absolutely free. Return to Nangrim. This is a dark first-person fantasy adventure with survival and RPG elements embedded in an epic dwarven lore. Here you will go on a quest and unveil the mysteries and legends about Stonebeards, the once glorious and powerful dwarven family. You will explore cool-looking locations and crack their secrets. Also, you'll collect, combine and craft items and interact with the environment to progress. When I played the demo version, I was kinda happy with what I saw. The graphics were nice, crafting and interacting with the world also felt good, but the game itself felt kinda cramped. Many areas were small, I didn't feel the promised open world aspect of the game at all, to be honest. And the biggest problem this game had in a demo version was not some bugs and glitches, but the loading screens. You can assume that my PC is kinda good, but it took me about 10 seconds to get into a simple room, like 20 square meters in size. When I was looking at the loading screen, I expected to see some huge halls like, you know, in Moria, but I got into the closet. So I can absolutely, without any doubt, say that if they do not fix the loading screens problem, this game will flop. And I mean that none of those loading screens I saw while playing the demo should be there. I'm not kidding. Lilium. If you are not some AAA game maniac, Lilium looks kinda cool, to be honest. It sounds like a game for little girls, but it's not. As a game created by one man, it feels decent enough to grab my attention, especially because it has a feature I love the most in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Here you develop your character as you play, meaning that you get faster by running a lot and get tougher by taking a lot of damage, become a better marksman if you shoot a lot of arrows, and become the best at farts if you are farting often enough. I know that the last bit probably isn't in the game, but it should. Grandmaster in Farts Mastery. Sounds more than epic. The world here is open but very small, so Mr. Developer doesn't put more in his mouth than he can chew. That is a nice thing to hear. You know, most of those lone developers are like,
yeah, I will make another Skyrim but bigger, yeah. It's gonna get swifty in here.
So nothing like that this time. The main story and several side quests will take about 50 hours from your life. Cool feature is that most stuff here is lootable and the rest you can move or throw. True spirit of the Elder Scrolls. Knights and Outlaws. This is a story-driven RPG adventure where you take on the role of a simple peasant who has a chance to change his destiny. Every choice brings you closer to becoming a respected and glorious knight or to despised and fearsome outlaw. Fight for honor and save innocent, or steal from the poor and give everything to the rich, or something like that, you know, like the government in the real world. You'll find a challenging combat system where you'll have to outsmart your adversary, find his weak spots and exploit them. This is especially important when fighting duels with other knights. You can defeat them honorably or, you know, cheat like your imaginary girlfriend. Wildfall. Here you can choose whether you want to play alone or with up to 3 friends. Explore interesting islands, find hidden treasures, and fight off a huge variety of different monsters. Help the once-in-peace living island dwellers regain control over a huge area that once belonged to them. So this is probably the case of developers trying to make a game like Skyrim, but bigger, you know? Anyway, here you'll explore 4 themed action-packed islands filled with hundreds of different monsters, traders, villagers, and hidden caves. Mounted battles will also be available. I don't like the graphic style of the game, I'll be honest, but gameplay-wise, Wildfall can become a real hit one day if developers won't abandon it immediately after the release. That happened with many indie games many times before. Raidborn. Another indie project, and I would never thought I would say it, but it seems that I like Borderlands-themed graphics more than low-poly ones, so kudos to Raidborn for that. So this is a first-person fantasy action RPG with highly detailed procedurally generated dungeons and quests. Here you'll explore a world of treasures, upgrade your gear, level up your skills, and test your might in many battles. While watching the gameplay, I really like that you can feel the impacts you are making with your melee weapon. That is a really important thing in such a game, although they have to put way more work into physics, because I can feel with my butt that gravity here doesn't work like in the real world. Well, it's an unreleased game, so I shouldn't be so harsh. The Wayward Realms. This is one of the titles I'm really excited for because of the developers involved. It's directed by 2 guys who are in charge of a team behind the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, so it's being made by some really old dudes, older than me I think. The Wayward Realms will be an open-world fantasy RPG where choice, consequence, scope and role-playing will be experienced in a realistically scaled world. It is set on a group of over 100 realistically scaled islands known collectively as the Archipelago, where scores of factions vie for influence and power. Not much of actual gameplay is available yet, the game is in early stages of development. Archaelund. I was thinking about not putting this game in the list because it is a hybrid between Skyrim and Baldur's Gate, but I decided that it may look interesting to you anyway. You may look at these visuals and act surprised, you know.
Dude, this looks good. What are you talking about?
And I'm talking about the combat, which is like that.
Unexpected, this is.
Yeah, it's not a usual decision, I'm not gonna lie. And that is probably great. Innovating the well-known genres takes some bravery and balls, because you never know what to expect from the gaming crowd. You'll also find deep and engaging character progression. A career-based system will have your character start as lowest of the low, squires, hunters, or even beggars. Later you can choose a new career path, including advanced ones like Knight, Lore Seeker, Assassin, or Battle Mage. I know that those classes say shit to you, but in other words, here like in any other RPG, you will be the lamest, puniest peasant with the smallest balls, and then you will become a god for no reason at all, with balls so massive that they will bend time and space around you. Although developers are promising that the game system will ensure that every battle matters and every opponent is scary. Yeah, we will see how true is that when I'm level 60 or something and I cast Armageddon just by blinking. And if you like this list, you will for sure enjoy a video about 16 upcoming games similar to The Witcher 3. Open world, magic, love, and a lot of melee action. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time, bye.